Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to General Hospital spoilers, certain recent occurrences may have fans wondering if Kristina Davis would grab Helena Cassidy's dagger and try to kill Ava Jerome again. Fans of GH will recall Jen Sidwell summoning Alexis Davis to Windmere and pressuring her to take Helena's knife with her. Despite picking up the dagger during her visit, Alexis eventually decided she didn't want to deal with it and left. Sidwell appeared to be attempting to preserve Alexis' fingerprints at the moment, giving the impression that he was planning to frame her for a crime. However, now that Sidwell has delivered the blade to Alexis' office, the tale appears to be taking a turn. Sidwell acted as if he didn't feel right retaining it based on the note he provided, but there's clearly an agenda at work. If nothing else, Sidwell may like the thought of rattling Alexis and having her feel plagued by her past. This is the same dagger Helena used on Alexis' mother, and it might now be used to target someone else. Kristina Davis is unaware that Ava Jerome is blackmailing Alexis, but Alexis cannot keep the truth hidden for long. When Kristina and Molly Lansing Davis approached Alexis about the documents to have Kristina committed, she chose not to reveal the truth, but this does not imply the truth will remain hidden. Kristina will eventually see Alexis is genuinely attempting to protect her daughter. Alexis only considered locking Kristina up in a psychiatric facility as a possible legal defense. All of this is happening because Kristina attempted to cut the brakes on Ava's automobile, resulting in an accident with Rick Lansing and Elizabeth Baldwin in the passenger seat. Unfortunately, it does not appear that Kristina has completely learned her lesson. Kristina's fury at Alexis' actions shown that she is unwilling to accept responsibility or recognize the gravity of her error. Kristina's forecast that she will let go of her Ava vendetta is unlikely to come true. The show has also consistently hinted that Kristina may go after Ava again, if she receives updates on the blackmail plot. Ava dismissed the persistent threat when Rick warned her, perhaps setting herself up for a disastrous situation. What happens when Kristina finds out that Ava is blackmailing Alexis? Could that throw Kristina off the deep end, causing her to grab the dagger in another attempt to wipe Ava off the map? According to General Hospital spoilers, Kristina requires serious mental health care, so this plot could pave the way for her to visit Ferncliff. There was a lot of activity at General Hospital today, Friday, May 2, 2025. If you missed it, here's a quick recap below. It appears that practically the whole PCU community has decided to gather on the beach for an evening bonfire. Danny Morgan persuaded Rocco Falconeri to go even though they were still in high school. They grabbed some of the spiked punch to fit in, and although Danny simply holds his cup, Rocco consumes it and requests another. They eventually separate up, and Rocco passes out on the beach alone. Meanwhile, Emma Drake and Gio Palmieri run across Jocelyn Jacks at the beach. Vaughn just happens to be getting out of the water and drying himself nearby. He advises that they go into the water. Emma and Gio decide to go in, giving Joss the opportunity to remove the flash disk from Emma's pocket. After corrupting it, she must regain control of it to return it to Professor Dalton. The nurses' ball planning is in full swing. Lucy Coe, Maxie Jones and Lois Cerullo are at Deception's offices discussing plans for the nurses' ball. They discuss the usual turmoil and how they need to keep Carly Spencer out of it. Lois asks Maxie how her daughter is doing at work. She tells her she is okay, but she knows something is bothering her. A little while later, Brooke Lynn Quartermain arrives, and Maxie inquires as to her well-being. BLQ informs her that she must choose between her side and Lulu Spencer's, because she cannot truly trust her if she continues to be Lulu's friend. Drew undergoes a drug test, while Carly congratulates Nina on a job well done. Drew Kane enticed Willow Corinthos to accompany him to GH for a drug test. He wants to show her that he was not in his right mind when he was caught with an escort. His results indicate that he had ketamine in his system. Willow now has to decide if she believes he was drugged, or if he partied too hard during her absence. Willow departs as Drew resolves to make a police report. Meanwhile, Carly comes up on Nina Reeves' doorway to compliment her work with Drew. Getting the escort to spike his drink was the perfect plan, and Drew crumbled all on his own. Nina expresses how heartbroken she was to bring Willow suffering, yet knowing that it was necessary. Willow's entrance interrupts the ladies' discussion of different scenarios for what could happen next. General Hospital recap May 2nd. Beach party trouble and Willow believes Drew. Brooke Lynn tells Tracy nearly everything about her son. Tracy Quartermain had to go back and fill in the blanks for her grandmother after BLQ revealed to her that she had given up a child for adoption as a teenager. Brooke Lynn gives her the entire narrative, with the exception of revealing who the father is. She also describes how Lulu has been attempting to devastate her life ever since she found out. Tracy is incredibly supportive of her granddaughter, and a little heartbroken that Brooke Lynn was reluctant to tell her the truth. Tracy is alone in the room when Lois enters. Tracy asks her directly where her great-grandson is. General Hospital recap May 2nd. Beach party trouble and Willow believes Drew. Dante is still in love with Lulu. Dante Falconeri is debating with Lulu over the adoption piece she's working on. He asks her not to do it as a favor for him, because all of her interfering is harming Brooke Lynn. Lulu rejects since it is about her job and regaining her footing as a journalist. The subject goes to Lulu's recent conduct, and Dante admits that he knows she is still in love with him. Lulu confirms it and reveals that before her coma, she was on her way to tell him she wanted to see him again. She says that she is jealous of Sam since Dante is still in love with him. He admits that he loves Sam, and Dante adds that he still loves Lulu. General Hospital spoilers are available for Monday, May 5th, 2025. Fans should expect Brad Cooper to collect in the following episode. Tracy Quartermain blows up at Lois Cerullo. Furthermore, Rocco Falconeri passes out after drinking at a college party. Was it the alcohol? Or could something else be going on? Emma Scorpio Drake's discovery. Emma Scorpio Drake stripped down to go swimming after Vaughn made a big move. That provided Jocelyn Jacks with an excellent opportunity to remove the thumb drive from Emma's pocket. However, Joss needed to corrupt the file and return it. Read more. Find out what happened in the last episode of GH. Emma had just returned from her swim and found that the thumb drive was missing. Of course, Gio and perhaps others will volunteer to assist Emma in her search. It may be suggested that it dropped out of her pocket when Jocelyn took it. This is the moment for Jocelyn to leave it on the ground and let someone else find it. Sure, Joss might say she found it, but it would make her appear suspicious, given she's gunning after the same position as Emma. Willow take Corinthos doubt. Willow will ask Nina Reeves a question. The nurse wonders if her mother thinks she's an idiot for believing Drew Kane. Nina will, of course, do her best to support her daughter, but Drew was immediately subjected to a drug test. So, now that Drew has discovered the ketamine in his system, he will look for the person who administered it to him. In a preview clip, Drew discusses the matter with Max Scorpio. Drew may be innocent in this case, but he has committed numerous other crimes. If Willow actually trusted Drew, she would not be questioning her mother's intelligence. Willow, grab your kids and run. Bradley Cooper's collection. According to General Hospital spoilers, Portia Robinson has had a long-standing advantage over Brad. However, it appears that Brad has something against the nice doctor. Brad will most likely cover for Portia, but he will expect a large payment in exchange. In fact, the promo film shows Brad informing someone that he is there to collect. Monday, May 5th, 2025. Lulu Spencer reacted to Dante Falconeri's statements. Tracy screams furious at Lois and demands to know where her great-grandson is. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer expresses her regrets to someone via tears. Also, what is Rocco's fate? It's improbable that one cup of liquor caused him to pass out so suddenly. Perhaps an undisclosed medical problem? Or was the alcohol contaminated with something? Drew Kane's situation is rapidly deteriorating, and if he does not act quickly, he may lose everything. Drew doesn't know it, but the escort that he had partied with put some ketamine into his drink at the Port Charles Grill, and his entire life will blow up because of it. General Hospital spoilers. Drew drank, kissed and did body shots off of Jacinda at the Savoy as cameras rolled. The congressman had a great day at the Savoy with his new friend Jacinda. He crashed into the club, kissing and hanging all over her before saying, "Time for body shots." Lulu Spencer filmed Drew doing body shots off Jacinda's tummy on top of the bar as the morning's top story. Jordan Ashford attempted to persuade Drew to go before he went up in flames, but it was impossible. The congressman enjoyed the night of his life, as numerous Port Charles heavyweights watched in fear. General Hospital spoilers. Willow gets a good look at the man she's chosen over her husband. Willow Corinthos is scheduled to return from Germany the following morning, and you can bet that by the time she walks through her front door, she has already seen Drew's conduct. The reality is that he can't explain anything because he doesn't remember anything, but Willow is aware that it occurred because the tape has gone viral. She realizes she's made a tremendous mistake by moving herself and her children in with Drew. Willow plans to go back in with her mother, Nina Reeves, and Drew thinks he is losing control over her, so he decides to reveal a secret. General Hospital spoilers. Drew tells Willow that he slept with Nina. Drew believes that admitting to something, any type of secret, will help him gain Willow's trust, so he tells her about his relationship with her mother. He believes it will keep Willow from fleeing to live with Nina. If Willow doesn't trust the man in front of her, she isn't going to turn to her mother for help after discovering this lie by omission. General Hospital spoilers. Will Kristina steal Helena's dagger to make another attempt on Ava's life? The drama in Port Charles never stops, and the most recent twist involving Kristina Corinthos Davis has fans on the edge of their seats. Rumors circulate that Kristina is planning another attempt on Ava Jerome's life, this time with Helena Cassadine's notorious dagger. The stakes could not be greater, as this weapon not only has fatal potential, but also a sordid history linked to one of Port Charles's most renowned families. If Kristina follows through on this deadly plot, the consequences could spread throughout the village, disrupting alliances, relationships, and even long-buried truths. Kristina's anger against Ava has been boiling for months, fueled by Ava's devious plots and the destruction she has done to individuals Kristina cares about. Their hatred reached a boiling point when Ava's actions inadvertently caused substantial trauma in Kristina's life, pushing her to the edge. Kristina may consider Helena's dagger, a weapon steeped in history and mystique, as her opportunity to finally exact revenge. However, taking such a powerful item will be difficult, especially given the Cassadines' reputation for relentless preservation of their family's deadly heirlooms. Helena Cassadine's dagger is not your ordinary weapon. It has been the focus of various conspiracies, betrayals, and even murders over the years. Its sheer presence in Port Charles indicates risk, and if it falls into the wrong hands, or even the right ones with the wrong intentions, the results might be disastrous. For Kristina, gaining the dagger would mean crossing a line she might not be able to recover from. While her rage at Ava is justifiable, taking such drastic measures may alienate her from her family, particularly her father, Sonny Corinthos, who has always walked a narrow line between justice and vengeance. Meanwhile, Ava remains dangerously oblivious of the impending menace. Despite her cunning, she has been busy with her own conflicts, such as her rocky relationship with Nicholas Cassadine and the ongoing power struggles within the Jerome family. If Kristina steals the dagger and makes another attempt on Ava's life, she may shove Ava into a corner, making her even more unpredictable and dangerous than before. Ava has never been one to give up without a fight, and if she survives another assassination attempt, her revenge could be immediate and brutal. The involvement of the Cassadines complicates the simmering confrontation. Helena may be gone, but her legacy lives on, and her successors keep a close eye on things. If Kristina takes the dagger, she may unintentionally attract the notice of Valentine, Nicholas, or even Spencer, all of whom have their own motivations for wanting to keep Cassadine treasures out of enemy hands. The dagger's past is fraught with bloodshed, and its power lies not just in its keen edge, but also in the secrets it may contain. Could this weapon be more than just what it appears to be? If Kristina gets her hands on it, she might discover secrets that could further destabilize Port Charles. Then there's the matter of whether Kristina will follow through on her plan. She has always been a passionate and impetuous character, but she has never committed murder. Would she actually kill Ava in cold blood? Or is this another of her emotionally charged impulses that she will abandon at the last moment? Her family, particularly her mother, Alexis Davis, would be crushed if she chose such a dark path. Alexis has spent years attempting to steer her girls away from the violent inclinations that have plagued their family, and Kristina's plunge into retribution would be a terrible rejection of her efforts. However, if Kristina does not go through with it, what does this signify for her future? Will she find another way to confront Ava? Or will her wrath fester, leading to more dramatic confrontations in the future? The tension between these two women has been building for far too long to simply dissipate, And their conflict, whether through violence or deception, is not over. Drew Cain's probe will ramp up over the next 2 weeks, from May 5th to May 16th, according to General Hospital teasers. Jack Brennan will also have a secret meeting. Jen Sidwell will also make a hazardous proposition, so there will be a lot of action on the ABC serial. Cody Bell will step up for the week of May 5th to 9th, after discovering a threat. Cody may play the hero at the bonfire and inform Dante Falconeri about Rocco Falconeri's inebriated ordeal. Dante will be furious when he learns about Rocco's underage drinking, and how he let Danny Morgan coax him into attending this college party. Jason Morgan will give Danny a stern scolding once he receives updates as well. Arrests may be made due to underage drinking during this bonfire. If Dante arrests Giovanni Gio Palmieri, he may jeopardize his position in PCU's music program. It would also cause some familial conflict because Dante and Gio are father and son, even if they don't realize it yet. Lois Cerullo appears to be terrified about Joe's impending trouble, and will implore Dante to smooth things down. Kristina Corinthos Davis will try to make peace after receiving advice from Lucky Spencer, most likely with Alexis Davis. Kristina may be willing to move past the papers she discovered that may have led to her conviction, but she still doesn't know the full story because Alexis is concealing Ava Jerome's blackmail. Nina Reeves will soon find that her strategy has failed completely, because Willow now believes Drew's account of events once ketamine is discovered in his system. Drew had a flashback to Tracy Quartermaine shortly before he was drugged, and may investigate her as a suspect. According to GH teasers, Drew's research will heat up and bring him to some vital information, but will it tip in the wrong direction? Nina and Portia Robinson will work together to conceal their tracks, but Portia will need to be cautious when she asks Willow for information later. Brad Cooper may decide that he's had enough of playing dirty for Portia. Could Brad choose to play dirty for Selena Wu instead, given that he is about to make a life-changing decision? Back with Nina, she'll meet up with Curtis Ashford to gripe about Drew's ability to slither out of trouble. Speaking of trouble, some will be brewing when Sasha Gilmore Corbin meets Willow. The customary tension will explode, resulting in Willow's confrontation with her former friend, but Sasha will give as good as she gets. Jocelyn Jacks will feel guilty about contaminating the information and undoing Emma Scorpio Drake's hard work once she returns the thumb drive to her. Nonetheless, Jocelyn will adhere to her objective of landing the research assistant position, and may learn more about her purpose once Brennan has a covert meeting. Jocelyn and Vaughn may learn some shocking information about Professor Henry Hank Dalton, and what the WSB hopes to discover. Meanwhile, Sidwell will have a dangerous idea to deliver, so he'll try to entice someone on canvas into a new deal. It's always risky to conduct business with Sidwell, so keep that in mind. Fans should find out the outcome of Kai Taylor's surgery between May 12th and 16th. Kai was hoping for the best before going into the operating room, but if the treatment fails, he may be devastated. In fact, because there is a potential of paralysis, Kai may wake up to find himself even worse off than before. Meanwhile, Drew will continue to investigate the drugging incident, so could there be clues that point to Nina and possibly even Portia in the end? Portia, particularly Nina, cannot get away with this forever, so it will be interesting to see how things unravel for them. Having said that, Drew is a manipulative monster who needs his own transgressions exposed. Michael Corinthos did not truly refuse Willow's travel to Germany, so may a phone call to Jason or Carly Spencer help clarify things up. It's easy to envision Jason looking into the situation and wondering if Drew played a role in ruining Willow's attempt to meet Michael. Of course, Jason may have more immediate concerns, such as ensuring Danny's safety and assisting Sonny Corinthos in determining the identity of his unknown enemy. General Hospital spoilers suggest that the secret enemy may strike again, so keep an eye out for any further unpleasant news. While she appeared to confess to Anna Devane about why she was jailed at her old institution and why her files were sealed, it now appears that her purpose may go beyond wanting to save the world. Is Emma a covert agent? Nothing gets past Anna Devane. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Anna, as a covert agent, has significant experience with super sleuthing. On Reality, as she stated on the Tuesday, April 29th show, she rarely believes in coincidences. Anna met Professor Henry Hank Dalton during the Savoy concert on April 29th. After a conversation and some flirtation, She discovered that the PCU professor formerly taught at the same California university as Emma before they both arrived in Port Charles around the same time. While Emma said it was only a coincidence, Anna didn't buy it. Emma has developed a strong desire to work as Dalton's research assistant. Interestingly, newcomer WSB agent Jocelyn Jack Aiden McCoy is also fixated on this post, but that's because it's tied to her first mission. Could Emma and Joss's fixation on Dalton be a coincidence too? Is Emma a WSB or DVX agent? Is Emma a WSB agent? And can the agency have two agents working on the same mission to assure success? Is Joss Emma's backup? Emma got into a lot of problems back in California, so the WSB may believe that a Plan B is needed as an insurance policy. However, it wouldn't be surprising if Jocelyn is being deceived by Jack Brennan. Anna went to great lengths along back, tossing Brennan and warning him not to approach her grandchild. This may have been a too little, too late threat. Perhaps Brennan had previously approached Emma and provided her with a WSB offer. There's also the possibility that she was recruited while attending university in California. Emma has a multitude of reasons to harbor a grudge against the WSB, so it wouldn't be surprising if she works for DVX instead. Emma's grandmother Anna, grandfather Robert Scorpio, and great-uncle Max Scorpio have all passed down superspy expertise to her. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Nina Reeves' plan to break up Drew Kane and Willow Tate Corinthos may have worked like a charm. Hiring escort Jacinda to drug the congressman was flawlessly executed. But as fans know all too well, secrets never stay secrets for long. What will Willow say to her mother when she realizes what she did? Nina Reeves dotted her I's and crossed her T's. According to General Hospital spoilers, Nina went to great lengths to pay Jacinda off and move her across the world, where she would never be found. Still, everyone knows that scams like these may come back to bite soap characters in the buttocks. So what if Jacinda comes to Port Charles once she's spent the wealth Nina paid her? The escort will undoubtedly be searching for more money to be quiet in the coming weeks or months. Portia Robinson assisted, while Brad Cooper did the dirty job of obtaining the medicines required to produce a loosey-goosey Drew. So Jacinda may not be need to return to expose Nina when everything is said and done. Willow Tate Corinthos lashes out. Willow is bound to learn of Nina's drastic measures to bury Drew. And if she is still smitten with the congressman when she finds out, things will turn ugly between the mother and daughter. What if Willow discovers that Nina has been concealing her previous experience with Drew? Heated sessions in which the two revealed why Drew was attempting to attract Willow. Willow may have 7 words that shake Nina. I no longer consider you my mother. Willow will undoubtedly disown Nina, especially if Drew is the one who exposes her for this crime. Especially if he can persuade Willow into removing her mother from her life, as well as Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. According to General Hospital spoilers, a teaser clip for Friday, May 2, 2025, features teenagers consuming alcohol at a party. Meanwhile, Drew Kane receives the results of his drug test, and Carly Spencer confronts Nina Reeves. Continue reading to learn more about what will happen in today's episode of ABC soap drama. Teenage alcohol drama. Fans are aware that Danny Morgan got Rocco Falconeri to attend a college party with him. Standing with disposable cups in their hands, Danny explains this is how they blend. Fans know something is going to happen. Lulu Spencer's demand. Lulu Spencer demands answers from Dante Falconeri. The blonde wants to know why Brooklyn Quartermain's sentiments are more important than hers. It is also hinted that they will have an emotional talk. And while Lulu may be tempted to tell Dante the truth about the adoption, she will most likely remain silent for a while. Tracy Quartermain's discovery. General Hospital spoilers for today's episode suggest that Brooklyn will continue to open up to Tracy Quartermain, and the matriarch asks BLQ whether she regrets her decision. Lois Chirulo advises Maxie Jones that BLQ will need her friendship, and Maxie receives an ultimatum the same day. Friday, May 2, 2025. Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Gio Palmieri continue to bond. Carly sticks a video in Nina's face and asks whether she is responsible. Nina debriefs Carly so she can admit how far she went to protect Willow Tate Corinthos. Drew receives his drug test results from Isaiah Gannon, which may jeopardize Nina and Portia Robinson's scheme, necessitating yet another test manipulation act by Brad Cooper. Also, Max Scorpio learns of a crime. Does this have something to do with Drew's drugging? It's easy to imagine Drew shouting and raving, demanding an investigation. Drew's entire world has suddenly been blown apart. Not only does he need to save his political career, but he will also want to keep Willow. Drew's crimes appear to be catching up with him, and Willow wonders if the drug test will turn him into a victim. Drew had always been a meticulous man, his sharp eyes missing nothing, his mind constantly piecing together fragments of information that others overlooked. It was this very trait that led him to the startling discovery, one that would unravel a web of secrets and set in motion a chain of events no one could have predicted. It began innocently enough, with a misplaced file in the archives of the company where he worked. Drew had stayed late, as he frequently did, sorting through. Drew's pulse quickened as he sifted through the documents. The numbers didn't add up. Large sums of money had been funneled through offshore accounts, and the meeting logs referenced high-level executives, including Brennan, the company's COO, discussing something called the transition. The last page was a single cryptic note. Once the deal is done, no one will question the losses. Drew's hands trembled as he realized what he was looking at. Evidence of corporate fraud. Drew arrived early the next morning, determined to dig deeper. He needed to know who else was involved and what the transition truly meant. But as he reached for the folder, it was gone. The cabinet was locked, and when he discreetly asked the records clerk about it, she claimed no knowledge of its existence. Drew knew then that he wasn't dealing with a simple cover-up. Someone was watching, and they were erasing their tracks. Meanwhile, Brennan was across town, seated in a dimly lit corner of an upscale restaurant, far from prying eyes. Across from him was a man Drew would never have expected, Senator Harold Sidwell, a powerful figure with ties to both business and government. Their conversation was hushed, their expressions serious. "You're sure no one knows about this?" Sidwell inquired, his voice quiet but forceful. Brennan replied, "The records are secure. Only a handful of people even knew about Project Phoenix, and they've all been compensated for their discretion." Sidwell leaned back, swirling his whiskey carefully. "And the investors? They'll be taken care of. Once the merger is finalized, the losses will be written off as market fluctuations." Sidwell's lips twisted into a tight smile. "Good. But we can't afford any loose ends. If word gets out before the deal is completed, we'll all suffer." Brennan's jaw tightened as he realized the gravity of the situation. If the truth was revealed, it would be more than just imprisonment. It would mean devastation. "I'll handle it," he muttered. But neither of them were aware of Drew's discovery, or how near he was to learning the truth. That same evening, Drew received a message from an anonymous sender. "You're asking the wrong questions. Meet me at the docks at midnight if you want answers." The message sent shivers down Drew's spine. Was this a trap? Or was there someone else who knew what was going on and wanted to help? Drew went against his better judgment. The docks were deserted, with only the lapping of waves against the piers and the distant hum of the city. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman Drew recognized as Lydia Cole, a former financial analyst who had abruptly left the company months before. "I knew someone would find it eventually," she added, barely above a whisper. "I tried to expose it, but they silenced me. They threatened my family." Drew's heart hammered. What is Project Phoenix really about? Lydia glanced around anxiously before responding. "It's not just embezzlement. They're planning a hostile takeover, but not of another company, of the entire pension fund. They're going to drain it dry, blame it on bad investments, and walk away with billions while thousands of employees lose everything." Drew felt nauseous. The magnitude of the treachery was overwhelming. "We have to go public with this." Lydia nodded. "It's not that simple. Sidwell has connections everywhere: media, law enforcement, even the courts. If we accuse them without irrefutable proof, we'll disappear before the story ever gets out." Drew realized she was right. They needed leverage. Something so damning that even Sidwell couldn't hide it. Drew was brought to Brennan's office the next day. His boss's manner was placid, but his voice had an edge to it. "I've noticed you've been working late lately," Brennan said, his eyes drilling into Drew's. "Anything I should know about?" Drew mustered a smile. "Just trying to stay on top of things." Brennan gave a long nod. "Good. Loyalty is important in this company. You do well to remember that." Drew was now in perilous area, and the disguise threat was evident. That night he met with Lydia again. this time in a secure location, and they pored over every document they could find, looking for a flaw in Brennan and Sidwell's plan.